Hello and welcome to the English Lovers by Hanedi. In this video, we are going to look at the complex sentences, how to make the complex sentences. We're going to talk about that, and for the proper and better learning of the concept of uh, the complex sentences, please watch the video till the last. Otherwise, even after the completion of the video, I'll let you know about one more sentence in the complex form to be done in the next further video. So kindly stay tuned with the sort of video what we're gonna make. So moving further, yeah, you can see that what we're gonna learn in this video is how to make subordinate uh, clauses or subordinate sentences. Okay, let me have my highlighter. So how to make a subordinating clauses. First of all, you should be clear about this subordinating word. What is this subordinating? Subordinating means somebody who is a subordinate, somebody who is an assistant. Okay, so how to make helpful clauses, or in a sense those clauses which do not have their own meaning until or unless they are used with the principal clause. How to make the subordinate clause to make a complex statement of the combination of a principal clause and a subordinate clause. We need the subordinating conjunction, and how can we make the subordinating conjunction? That's the task on hand. What we're gonna do in this particular video, we're gonna focus on these first two, noun clauses, and the other one is adjective clause. And in the next video, we will be talking about the adverbial clauses, how to make adverbial clauses to make complex sentence. We're going to talk about that. So without wasting time, let's move further to talk about how to make the complex sentence using the noun clause and what are the noun clauses. Yeah, here you can see that the noun clause is used to make the complex sentence. And how to make a noun clause, how can we identify that the sentence is carrying the noun clause, not the adjective clause, not the adverb clause? How can we get to know? Okay, so whenever we make the noun clause, usually this particular clause will have the starting word wh. Okay, when the wh word would be used to make a statement rather than making a question, okay, then it would make a noun clause. Okay, you'll be getting the answer for what. Okay, in the sentence you'll be getting the answer for what. Okay, that's very important point, because when we get the answer of what in the clause form, okay, like your principal clause will ask a question at last that what's gonna happen. Okay, for that one you will get the answer in the form of what sort. Then definitely with the examples you will be learning better than this. Okay, now the second sort of starting word, or the starter, or the subordinating conjunction can be if or whether to make a complex sentence with a noun clause. That means a noun clause can be formed with the word if or whether. If is generally used for the for conditional statements, but if or whether is used as a conjunction when we write the indirect speech. Okay, and when we write the indirect speech, if or whether is used to start a statement. Okay, and whenever we start a statement with if or whether, we make a complex sentence. Okay, but what would be the clause as an answer? That would be a noun clause. Okay, then there can be a conjunction that to start a statement, but all of them, all of these three are going to give the reply of what. Answer for what should come out. That means the answer at last would come out only in the answer of what. That's it. Okay, with the examples I think it would be clearer. Now here you can see there are three examples. Okay, very easy examples to understand the concept. I want to know. Okay, this is a principal clause asking a question, what I want to know. Okay, I want to know what. I want to know that he has started progressing. What do I want to know? Okay, what do I want to know? That he has started progressing. So this particular clause which is started with the which is starting with the that conjunction, I told you that can be used as a conjunction, but when the answer is coming for what, okay, when the principal clause is asking the question in a sense of what, okay, and what's the answer for what, then definitely we are making a noun clause, okay. Then second sort of sentence, second example is tell me. Tell me is an imperative sort of sentence, like what is after that, tell me as an as a principal clause, okay. And what is it asking, tell me what, tell me what, if he has visited this place earlier, if he has visited this place earlier, okay. In a sense somebody is asking a question, but in the statement form somebody is asking the question, so that's why we are using if as a conjunction. If or whether can take the place of conjunction here instead of that, okay. Tell me that he has visited, it would be wrong in a sense. I would say that that can also be a possible sort of formation, but I'm just taking an example that if can also be used as conjunction, and whenever it is used as conjunction we are making a noun clause, because we are getting the answer for what here. Tell me what, tell me if he has visited this place earlier, okay. Then the third statement is I asked him what, I asked him whether or not they have done their work. So I asked him what, whether or not they have completed their work. Like we are asking for the completion of the work, somebody is asking for the completion of the work, so definitely, like when we are asking the answer for what, we are getting that the clauses are made are noun clauses, and we are having the conjunctions that, if or whether, or like whenever we are getting the answer for what in the sentence, then we are using the noun clause, but there should be a principal clause before it, okay. And then we can analyze that definitely there is a noun clause, okay. I hope so that you understood that, okay. Now what are adjective or relative clause, okay. Actually adjective clause or the relative clause, I would say, in a sense, like which would be talking about the relation, okay. So adjective would be talking about the noun, okay. There would be a relation between that adjective and the noun, and obviously relative pronoun would be used, that is why relative clause it can be called also, okay. Like we can call it relative clause also, because the relative pronoun would be used, okay, like after the noun it is talking about. So now first of all these clauses works as an adjective, okay. So all those clauses, okay, subordinate clauses would be working whole on the whole basis, would be working as an adjective, which means it describes a noun or pronoun, because we need to remember the definition of the like adjective, okay. What is adjective? Adjective describes a noun or pronoun. As a whole, this particular clause would be talking about the noun or the pronoun, okay, whichever it is actually describing, okay. We'll be seeing that in the examples, often placed right after the noun, the clause that it is describing, like when the principal clause ends with you know uh, the noun at last, and then the next word used to be relative pronoun generally, then uh, definitely you will be able to understand that how it is adjective, because we need to keep the property of the adjective in the mind, that adjective describes a noun or pronoun, because if the description of that particular noun is given in the next clause, then definitely that would be adjective clause. I would say that it would be easy now to understand. Adjectives adjective sorry here it would be adjective only. Adjective clauses begin with the relative pronoun, that's already I have told you. Let's move further. Yeah, so here you can see the slide of the relative pronoun, which can be possible relative pronoun. All those wh words can be relative pronoun, like why, who. Generally what we think is, like in adverb clauses we get the answer for why, but here the sense is that one, when we have used these relative pronouns or these WH words, okay, to describe about the noun or pronoun, they would be relative pronouns, and definitely those clauses which would be starting words which would be started with the WH words, then those would be adjective clauses. And whenever we're gonna use the adjective clauses in the sentences, then definitely our sentences would be the complex sentences. Okay, now here you can see that why, when, where, okay, which, that, who, whose and whom can all be used to make the adjective clause. How these can be used, let's see that. Okay, now here you can see the examples, okay, how relative pronouns make the adjective clauses to form a complex sentence. Okay, now here you see first example, okay, he is the boy, he is the boy, okay, he is the boy, okay, we are talking about this boy, which is a noun, okay, he is the boy whom we were waiting for. Okay, this whom word, which is a relative pronoun, is talking about the noun boy. Okay, so he is the boy whom is actually talking about this antecedent or whatever noun or pronoun is, like that is boy here. Okay, it is describing about the boy because they were talking about the same boy, okay, whom we were waiting for. Okay, they were waiting for that particular boy, so this particular clause is describing about this boy, so that is why it would be adjective clause. It is describing about this boy. Next example is a common man should live a life which is principled one. Like a common man should live a life, okay, which is principled one. And this which is principled one is describing about the kind of life a common man should live. Okay, so it is talking about this word life, and which is actually a sort of phenomena of living, and which is also a noun. Okay, so this which is actually describing about this particular noun life, so that is why it is a head word, and which would be here the subordinating clause. Okay, subordinating conjunction, sorry, and the clause which would be made after this using the which as the subordinating conjunction, it would be subordinating clause. Then definitely this which word is describing about life, so kind of life one should live, okay, a common man should live, so that's why it is the like subordinating clause, but the adjective clause to make the complex sentence. Okay, next is I will never forget, I will never forget that day, okay, when I realized my mistake. Okay, so this when I realized my mistake is describing about that particular day. Okay, so when I realized my mistake, okay, so this particular when I realized my mistake is talking about that particular day. Which day? When I realized my mistake. So when we get the answer for like describing about the noun, then definitely that particular clause would be talking about adjective clause, and the sentence would be a complex sentence because adjective, noun or adverb clauses used to be, the subordinating clauses, and we need a principal and the subordinate clause to make a complex statement. Now you see, I have found the place, okay, which place? Where you forgot your wallet. Okay, then here you can see that this like all these questions are getting the answer for which. Okay, life, which is principal one, day, when I realized, which day, when I realized my mistake, or which boy, whom we are waiting for. Okay, which place, where you forgot your wallet. So all these answers are actually giving you answer for which place, which day, which life, and which boy. And we are talking about the description of the noun. So which boy, which noun, which noun, and which noun, and which noun again. So when we get the answer for the noun or pronoun getting described here, so definitely we are using the adjective clause. That is also the basic property of the adjective clause. I hope so You have understood about the noun as well as the adjective clause to make the complex sentence. And there would be the next video which would be about the adverb clauses and the usage of the different connectors that we're gonna use in our different videos, and how to make the use of those different connectors in a very easy manner. I'll tell you one by one by the use of each of those connectors, each of those kinds of the connectors. So till then, I would say that goodbye. Just subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for the updates about the new lesson, and keep sharing my videos and give a thumbs up if you like the video. And please keep sharing the video for the betterment of my channel, for the betterment of your knowledge and the betterment of your environment and the people around you. So thank you very much, and it's time to say goodbye. So